And welcome once again to the AV Championship. We're off to Abu Dhabi today. I've been drinking as always, just about home in time. As always, we're back for the next race, race 18, the AV Championship here on AV Racing TV. I'm glad you can join us. Getting fed a lot of information here right now before the race, a lot of information that I'm excited about. We've got Gargamel coming into Racing Point now for the rest of Season 3. Right now, only 5 races left in Season 3, including this race today, but Gargamel being in there in the Racing Point, that will upset the scoring a little bit, as we saw last Thursday in Spain. Gargamel coming out with the win there, back here in Abu Dhabi again today. We've apparently got Tenta back in, fitting in a McLaren. There he is right now. Tenta's back on the McLaren. Will Walker there, up already with the comments. Glad you can join us once again, Will. What other information have I suddenly been fed here? Not sure if Luca's gonna be racing today. Tygo unable to. That's what we've got. Tenta in the McLaren. WouterVanDenBoom is there back in the Racing Point. Yorkshire unable to be here. What other info have I just been told? Tess unable to race. That was one of the Ferraris. Jasper's on his own this week then, and Elkir, the other Williams, unable to race. 14 drivers coming in here right now. 1.5 minutes left to go, which means the field could be a little bit more open there for the other drivers in the race. A little bit more space to maneuver, a little bit more space to decide on stops and strategy. There we have Reaper coming in there now, obviously switching to the Renault as he did last week. Bestos there, just loading it in. It has 16 drivers in here now. Those that can't make it, I think that might be about it for this race. We've got both AlphaTauris in here, both Red Bulls in here, both Haas, both Alfa Romeo, both McLarens in there, both Racing Points, both Renaults. Have we got Lola? Have we got the other Mercedes? We need the other Mercedes here right now, in all honesty. So far, if we look at the constructors right now, AlphaTauri leading with a very big 456 points. Mercedes 257 behind them. Mercedes need to score 23 points and outscore AlphaTauri by 23 points this race to stop AlphaTauri from taking the constructors. Otherwise, we will be crowning our constructor at the end of this race with 4 races left to go if Mercedes can't score at least 23 points and outscore AlphaTauri by 23 points in that process as well. We're loading into Abu Dhabi right now, capital of United Arab Emirates. This is the Yas Marina circuit, 50% race to us, which will be 28 laps around a 3.4 mile or 5.5 kilometer circuit. 21 corners around here, 2 DRS zones. One of the newer tracks on the F1 calendar, Yas Marina. Purpose-built track around here, but as like with a lot of these newer tracks, which I'm not a big fan of, we've got a lot of tarmac runoff around the track. There is a bit of grass in places and a couple of gravel traps there, but still a lot of tarmac. Not a big fan of this. You can still get the warnings for the track limits, but it's still doesn't create a focus on careful driving. And just as about to talk about focus on careful driving, we've got a wet qualifying. Hopefully someone will let me know what the weather's like for the race in 1 second, but this looks pretty wet there for quali. Let's get our track info up quickly as I get the rest of the weather. Race dry, quali wet is the info that I've been told. This could be, they're all inters. This could be an interesting quali though if the race is going to be dry and the quali is where all the drivers are going to be running their dry setups. Park Ferme is in place, so they're going to be running dry setups in these kind of wet conditions. We could see a few accidents in qualifying right now. Alright, let's have a look who's out there already. Lola did make it in there. 17 drivers then we have in here. The 2 Williams obviously missing, and which one, 2 Williams and 1 Ferrari is the cars we've got missing. Lola is our car first out up here. FCST is out right now. Wouter's out. Kronik's out. Exit and LollyLord, who can I trust? Give me a nice lap in the wet around here. So take just a bit. Right, as we're saying, who can be trusted to get a lap around Yas Marina? Reasonable technical circuit here around Yas Marina. 3 little kind of chicanes around here, a couple of big straight zones with DRS, a few other straights, and a lot of other quite medium to slow corners, which is definitely going to affect things in the wet hair turns. 1, 2, and 3. I'm very interested about to see how we're going to take these in quali, with it being so wet. What would normally be a very flat out section of a series of corners there on the exit of 2 coming through 3 and 4. This could be interesting in the wet. Wouter's going to be coming around soon. I might stick with the Alfa Romeo for our onboard lap around Yas Marina, as Wouter will get on board right now. It's coming up into the penultimate corners. Nice and wide for turn 21 as we come on to the grid straight right now, heading our way just over 300 meters up here into turn 1. Normally a little bit of breakthrough there, and we'd normally get back on the power quickly, but it is wet right now. We'd turn into too hard, maybe have a little bit of a lift, and then back on itself here. 4, 3, Wouter running very wide, trying to put the power down too much there. Who else can I? Kuhn's going around right now. Kuhn currently sitting 3rd in the constructors in the AlphaTauri. We'll see if we can get that clean up around Yas Marina here with Kuhn heading into turn 1 right now. See, as Wouter did, need to be more cautious into here, and we need to be more cautious getting that power down on the exit and coming through 3 and 4 here. Kuhn getting some twitches of the oversteer. They're slowing it down right now for 5 and 6. A little chicane there. You can take a reasonable amount of curb through 5 and 6. Need to get out wide here before 7. Very slow hairpin. Need to make sure you don't drift too much to the outside there. The curb in and a little strip of grass there will slow you down, lose traction off it, and it comes along a straight section. DRS zone here, and the track actually closes in at the end. So where you come out in the corner, you need to move over to the middle of the track to actually be in line with the edge at the end here. Coming into turns 8 and 9, which lead on to another DRS zone. Quite a slow chicane there. Very tempted to get the power down too quickly, and you can run wide on the exit, get a little bit of spin going there, but it's important to get those corners clean because it brings us into what would be a DRS zone. Then coming up, turn 10 was a little bend there. We've got 11, 12 and turns 13. This next kind of chicane there. Kuhn keeps the car in check there, fighting with it a little bit in the wet through turn 14. And then we've got turns 15 and 16 up here. Normally a lot faster in the dry, and they will absolutely slingshot you in turn 17 there, and we need to make sure you find your braking point. Turns 18 and 19, these quite slow left-handers through here, and we get a little bit of straight section to get the power down again, get out as wide as possible and find that apex on the inside of 20, and again on 21, find the apex of the corner, not of the pit lane entry on 21, and get Alpha back on the gas for the pit line. That's our lap around Yas Marina. That puts Koon provisionally on pole right there with a 1:49.7, 9/10 above what anyone else has currently done in the wet. We'll go down half far around. Nak currently on his outlap. Koon's teammate there, Lola, having a bit of difficulties there. 2 minutes 1 in the wet. Else, everyone down here. We'll have a look at the Mercs. David there going fastest in sector 1. That's coming as purple for me as he heads into the hairpin of turn 7 right now. Kind of through that, stays comfortably within the track limits on the exit 7 now for this long straight run up. Obviously conditions too wet for us to have DRS on in qualifying right now. See very much there on that shot where that track bends and slows in as we see Red Bull keeping tight to the track limits on that. David looking very smooth there through turns 8 and 9. Lola just rejoining there, apparently having problems obviously with connection as we see Tenta's name already shaded out there. Maybe retiring, choosing not to go out in the wet. David, we haven't got a purple or anything for sector 2 there. Did a purple in sector 1. We'll see what his time's like towards the end. Keeps it barely in check there for turn 17. We need a good display from these Mercedes today if we want a lot of oversteer there on the exit of 19. Getting a little bit scrappy towards the end of the lap now as we come through turn 21. So 1:50.9, that puts him up into 5th. I feel with that sector 1 popping up and purple like that, probably could have got a better time through that. Sector 3 through this track, those last lot of corners there from, where is that from sector 3? That's around 11, 10 corners there in sector 3, and it is very hard, difficult sector to get right. And so we join on with Nak coming through turn 10 right now. And we'll see Reaper there getting a 1:48.1 in the wet on his inters, absolutely destroying Koon's time there by a whole 1.6 seconds. Oh, that's purple on sector 2 though for Nak right now. What can he pull off on these intermediates right now? Track doesn't look like it's drying up much at all right now from what we're seeing. It's either just going to get wetter towards the end through these 9 minutes, or it's going to stay roughly the same, but I don't think we're going to get any improving track conditions towards the end of qualifying. Nak really struggling there through turn 19 to try and keep that car in check, just in limits there on turn 20, comfortably within on turn 21 though, and he runs to get his time. He got his time down just in time there across the grid. That was crazy, running a lot of curb there on the exit, and then the car suddenly pulled to the right into the wall, but he did get a 1:49 flat from that. I should imagine there's probably a lot of damage on his wing right now, unless he's just having connection issues, and that's just what we happen to see on the stream. He's not turning there though, so maybe he did. Let's have a look back. Gargi right now. Gargamel. Koon retiring right now. Koon missing turn 1 there by the looks of it on the mini-map. There's no cars nearby for me to see what's going on. Everyone's going into the pit lane. Or has he damaged himself in the pit lane there, maybe? I'm not sure what Koon's done, but that's qualifying over for him in Abu Dhabi. Currently with a 1:49.7. It might be good enough. And Gargi with 1:49.5. They're currently in 3rd. This Gargi been a good challenge to Reaper in the other season, and it could be a good challenge again right now. So we've got Chronic right now. He's on a hot lap. We'll follow on with the other Alpha Romeo. I would have liked to have seen Reaper like Koon crashing out and qualifying right now. There's a good chance for other drivers to really move him back down the grid. I would like to see Reaper stay in Mercedes at the end there, because that 23 points there required from the Mercedes to try and hold AlphaTauri off for another race from taking that constructors. I'd say it would need to be possible with someone like Reaper or Gargi or someone there and one of these other teams to try and stop it. I mean, Reaper switching out of the Mercedes, then I don't know how possible that is for Mercedes today. Kuhn says, what? Well, you tell me what happened there, Kuhn. Controller disconnected on the pit exit, so he did go into the wall in the pit lane. That's unfortunate. Abu Dhabi being very notable, only track in the F1 calendar whose pit lane actually passes underneath the main track. How did it happen, Kuhn? It happened because you clearly didn't charge it. I'll be honest, whenever I'm here on the stream for it, the controller's plugged in. I use a cable connection. If I'm doing any races or anything at all, I don't rely on the controller cable connection every time while streaming or while racing. Always. Life lessons, my friend. Life lessons. We'll get back on right now as Kronik finishing his lap. We'll stop telling Kuhn how to live. And that's a 150.1 there for Kronik. That puts him in to 5th. Else is down at the bottom here. FCST right now in 10th. He's just coming across the line. That moves him up into 6th as well. Bestos, his teammate, going quicker there. Also with a 149. Top 5 drivers currently running below the 150 mark here in the wet. If these drivers are capable of this in the wet with these setups, I'm wondering what they're capable around here in the dry. Jasper looking reasonably strong here again right now in 6th. Jasper taking 3rd place last week in Spain. That's going to get on with the Red Bulls right now. A bit of a battle happening between Red Bull and Haas in the constructors as well. Red Bull with 233 points, currently in 3rd. Haas with 232 points, currently in 4th. Both teams just 25 points behind Mercedes as well. They're both going to be looking to leapfrog up over Mercedes in these next 5 races and firmly get themselves into the top 3. Domestos, what sort of angles these cameras give me sometimes on the cinematic, but it's just showing me the road, not really showing me much of your car. Let's get back on board as he comes through the penultimate last couple of corners. I think we'll just take the onboards around here, around Abu Dhabi for now. That's Domestos. Has improved his time, but he hasn't really improved his position too. He's improved his position a little bit there actually, moving up into 8th. Not really sure he was before, although everyone else has moved in. Behind him, he's still pushing again on this other lap. That still looks like he is. Obviously, drivers aren't going to have to start on these tyres, so it doesn't matter if they want to push again on another lap from being dry. They're going to get to switch over and get tyre choice as well when we start. So getting a little bit wobbly down the exit of 7. We could see a lot of drivers actually, even quite a few within the top 10 there, maybe opting to start on the medium tyre and take a longer run around here from the start rather than taking the soft. Pit lane is reasonably long here around Abu Dhabi. Reaper there with a 147.4 now. Absolutely. 1.6 seconds clear of anyone else right now on the grid. If he could set this sort of pace right now, it would have been nice to see if he could hold off the AlphaTauri. Wouter now retiring from the session. I can't see the AlphaTauri stopped anywhere. I think just some drivers maybe struggling to get times in around here through Abu Dhabi. Wouter Domestos getting very careful there into turn 17. That was a big lift. I'm not sure. I don't think he's going to improve his time on this lap. Although that was green there in Sector 2 for him, I think that was personal best for Sector 2, but no, it's not going to be a time improvement. Got down here, Rowan right now, he's on a fast lap, about to come into turn 17, just about trying to keep it in control, just in track limits there on 17. So easy to slingshot in through 15 and 16, there's two very fast corners. As soon as you come around to the apex of 16, you need to know exactly where your braking point is, straight on the brakes, lifting off, because it's so easy to run deep into 17 and pick up track limits. And invalidate wrestling with the car in these last couple of corners. That's a 152 for Rowan. That keeps him down in 14th right now. 1 minute 50 left of qualifying right now. Everyone should be coming back out the garage if they're not already trying to get back around. Not sure what David's doing right there. Still playing dodgems, I reckon. Will Walker still playing dodgems. We've got drives Asbestos on out lap, Gargamel on an out lap right now as well. Reaper having retired now, fills up 147.4 is safe for him. Oh, not enough time to get out for another lap. Jasper there in second right now, knocking Knack down a little bit. I'm interested in what Gargamel can maybe do around here if he can move up, knock Jasper back down position, get into those 148 time zone. Scotland now comes through turn 21 across the timeline in time there for a lap. A lot of these drivers there, I think they're out, should all just make it across that line for another lap if they want. So Gargamel right now coming up to the turn 7 hairpin right here, brings it through pretty smoothly. It just takes a little bit of extra curve there. Certainly see it pulling on the red ball on the mini map that is behind it of Domestos. Get a lot of straight line speed here. A little bit of a lock up there, coming in to 8 and 9, getting out as wide as you can for the entry on 9. That was smooth through there. What time we haven't got any purples or greens popping up here though. Look at the time, that is a purple there through sector 2 for Gargamel. Coming through turn 12 there, right to turn 13, into turn 14. These drivers getting on the gas a lot sooner through some of these corners. When we get into the dry, make sure to find his braking point there for 17. Like I said, as soon as you come round through 16, you've got about less than a second and you need to be on the brakes. You can't get too hard, you're going to lock the wheels up and you're never going to turn into 17. And you need to just come through 16 and just start gently applying it, looking very comfortable through 20 and 21. This could be 149.0. He does improve his time, not by enough though. Who's running the next Bestos is in the wall, unfortunately there. The other Haas is coming round. FCSC doesn't manage to improve his time. Mercedes of David is on an invalidated lap there right now. Domestos up in 5th right now behind Gargamel. And I think David is crossed the line. Knack on a hot lap right now still. It's on an invalidated lap, whatever it is. And Lola down here is on a hot lap right now. Can he move up out of 16th? Mercedes want a challenge? No. Nope, just look at his time there. Nope, he's not really moving up out of that. He's pulling into the pit. So, any drive we have going around right now is Knack performing some drifts in the wet right now around Yas Marina. Just enjoying the weather like a little duck. Bye, Nuck. So there we have our grid for today for Abu Dhabi. Front row we have Reaper and Nak, second row Jasper and Garlo, Megan, third row Domestos and Bestos, 7th Kuhn, 8th Chronic, 9th FCST, 10th Wouter, 11th David, 12th Xz, 13th Lang, 14th Rowan, 15th Lordy, 16th Lolla, 17th Tenta. That's our grid for today, and as we said, if Mercedes can't outscore AlphaTauri by 23 points today, we are going to be crowning our constructors at the end of this race. There's the bright blue sky. They didn't lie to me. We do have a dry race. Hopefully it can be a bit cleaner now for the drivers rather than trying to struggle and handle those dry setups in that pretty wet qualifying there. Bit for drivers to slit their tyres now. Obviously from qualifying on the intermediates there, everyone has choice of tyre right now. I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing those drivers in that top kind of 5-6 there, if we're going to see any of them put on the mediums. If we might see Gargamel or someone, Reaper, Gargamel, put on those mediums straight away at the start to get that longer stint out. Quite a lot of time to be lost in the pit lane here from Abu Dhabi. It's quite a long exit from the pit there to the outside of turn 3 where you are released back onto the track. Not a track you want to be making too many stops on. As we line up on the grid now, 4 lights, 5 lights all on, and they're out, and we make this roughly 370 meter run up into turn 1 right now. Reaper remaining in first, getting a good lead off there. Gargamel still in third. Few drivers running wide on the exit there, but I think we've had a relatively clean start there. Lang dropping back some positions there. Tenta making his way up. Rowan dropping back a little bit there. Jasper dropping back. Gargamel and Domestos Kuhn all moving forward there. Reaper still very much in charge right now. Nak trying to chase him down. Wouter's dropped down some positions. Let's get our full info back up right now as we head down the back straight into turn 8 right now as we watch Nak. They're fighting with Gargamel through there. Gargi trying to move up a lot of these front drivers we do see there on the medium tire. Everyone taking the medium. Lang, the only driver there to come out on, try and come out on the soft at the start there, but he's right at the back. He's going to need to make that soft work for him. He's going to take that earlier pit. Otherwise, that effort will have been in vain. Let's get back on our position change quickly right now. Gargamel has made his way past Nak. Reaper still in the lead though. FCST getting up in front of David right now. As we're coming through turns 20 and 21 right now to complete our first lap, and safety car free first lap of the Yas Marina circuit. Nak looking on the inside of Gargamel there. Who's going to come out of it first? Nak does get on the inside there, pushes Gargamel wide a little bit. Nak back into second. Now Gargamel back into third. Reaper the whole time while these cars argue and fight behind him is just giving him space right now. 1.8 seconds already over Nak, although Nak does get a fastest two right there on the second lap. Everyone's still in the top 8 here, all still very close until we get down to Lolla, who's now losing position on his teammate of David there. Top 8 as we come around on the next lap. DRS is going to be activated again, and from second down to 8 there, they're going to have a big old DRS train taking themselves around. WouterVanDenBoom moving down positions there. Tenta getting up in front of him on turn 8 there by the looks of it. Kuhn, now the other AlphaTauri, looking to put the pressure onto Gilligan. AlphaTauri want to take the constructors with this race. They don't want it to be prolonged any longer. Xz picking up a time out there, 3-second corner cutting. That said, not for warnings. Flat out corner cut. Jasper dropping down there, starting so close to the front, lost so many positions right now. Hanging on behind Domestos right now, though, getting the power down as quick as he could there on the exit at 19, so maybe drifting a little bit wide. Reaper there with fastest lap of 138.2, already a second faster than the real life fastest lap around here, which is a 139.283 set by Hamilton in 2019. Reaper now nearly 2 seconds off of Knack, who's now managed to very much extend that lead over Gargman right now to another 1.4 seconds as well. These drivers don't want to be getting the DRS across here. Gargi's not going to get. Kuhn is going to be getting this DRS right now. I don't think he's close enough to be able to make anything work from it though into turn 8. He's going to get right up behind Gargi. He's going to be in his gearbox by the time we come out the corner, but going to get another chance when we get into this next DRS zone. Is he going to beat him in to turn 11? He's close. Gargament's not even pushing too much there on the ERS. That's the fastest sector 2 there for Kuhn coming up purple. I'm not surprised with how much ERS and DRS he was getting from that. Then definitely a bit of space out there from Domestos. David now, big old gap between these front 8 down to 9. Lola downward all appear to be having a bit of a problem with this track right now. Sure, Lola's maybe the one slowing down X's and Tenta. A little bit of a bunching at the back here. FCST right down back there as well. He's lost a lot of positions from something. Only Bestos and Muta have had to go into the garage so far and take a pit stop. A lot of penalties already showing up here right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 drivers. 6 drivers out of 17 there already with 3-second penalties, and we're only on lap 4. So we could be seeing a lot more penalties by the time we get to the end of the race. Kuhn now really spreading that distance out over Domestos, making that DRS from Gargi, just getting it to drag him round there. Domestos now going to be under fire from Jasper. Jasper's going to be getting DRS from him, and Dom's not going to be getting anything. He's got Chronic fulling on behind there as well, still getting a bit of a tow from them. FCST and 2 cars getting up past Xz. Once FCST past everyone there in that DRS, on that second DRS straight there, suddenly up into 9th now. Lola, Xz, Tenta, past them all. Lang now getting up in front of Xz as well there. Not close enough to Tenta yet. Lola running wide there on 17. Bit of action going on at the back of the pack here. Everyone trying to work their way back up into the point positions. Was that Lola pulling into the garage there? Has he got damage, or is he just going? I assume he's got damage coming into the garage here on lap 5 right now. Are we taking a wing change? Or is he just not happy? Was he going for a massive? He is taking a wing change. He was having damage. It was Lola holding up this backpack now, but now they've got some work to do right now. FCST, big old gap of 6 seconds there up to David to try and work their way back forward. Lang and Tenta a second or so behind him. Jasper and Chronic still following very close here behind Domestos, getting back in DRS. Domestos there, got the DRS to defend right now. He's giving him the space on the inside. Come and challenge me. He knows Jasper's not going to make it into 11 before him. Domestos still holding strong in 5th. Jasper getting very close on turn 14 there. A little bit of oversteer from Jasper, then trying to follow very close to the mess. That's a bit interesting. Front leaders have kind of moved way back there, but we've got a bit of an interesting midfield potential going on here from 5th, 6th and 7th, and I should imagine to see 9, 10 and 11 start to move their way further forward. Now they've kind of cleared Lola, who had damage. They've got past Xz, and just like to see them move up a bit further through the pack now, at least start to catch back up to the 5, 6, 7, 8 mark. Jasper right now is riding on, giving it everything right now to try and stay with Dom, try and be able to challenge him for that position. He's going to get a nice long run on the DRS right now. He's got the DRS only a couple of tenths behind him. Domestos defending hard there. All Jasper has to remember right now is if he's got the DRS and Domestos is holding that much in front of him, Domestos is going to be burning the DRS to be able to do that. Bide your time, Jasper. Bide your time, and you will have your opportunity. Again, with there's a few kind of very hard braking zones around here, around Yas Marina, but again, with a lot of them kind of been these kind of more medium corners where we're kind of like slowly trail braking a little bit through the corner. You haven't got that such heavy hard braking zone where you're really going to be refilling back up on that ERS, but you've got plenty of straight sections to burn it through. Well, remove our penalties. A few more drivers picking up penalties right there. So it's about to change it. 6, 7, 8 drivers with penalties now. 3 of them with 6 seconds. Knack already up there with 6 seconds and currently riding in 2nd. That's not going to be doing him any favours. Garnky getting away from Kuhn, and Domestos catching back up. Maybe a little bit of pressure from Jasper behind him has forced him to work that little bit harder, and now he's catching back up to Kuhn. He's going to get that DRS from Kuhn to help him defend off Jasper. He's going to come down now. FCST catching up with David now, showing some good pace around this track here. Kind of leaving Tenta and Lang there a bit behind. They all got up past all 3 of them. I expect to see slightly further up in the grid. They managed to get up past Lola and Xz, and FCST still with great pace along these straight sections, closing that time down on David. If he doesn't make it through before 8 here, he'll have it in the next DRS zone instead. David protects the inside, FCST takes the outside. He's in his gearbox now. When he gets the DRS, he should make it in before turn 11. David forcing himself the outside again, though, protecting the inside. Can he get round the outside? He can't. David still in front. CST is going to have to continue through this next section. You'd hope David runs a little bit wide, trying to protect his position. He's going to have to wait for the next DRS zone in Sector 2. Knack very much gaining back up on Reaper right now. In DRS range of Reaper, there was a good couple of seconds there. I don't know if Reaper's had a little spin or so or something. A few little snaps of oversteer cost him a little bit of time, but Knack, or whether Knack's just been burning the ERS there by the looks of it. That's why Knack's been catching up so hard. Don't run it on 0. You're going to get sluggy through the whole lap. Little rock up of Reaper there, sending it in late into there. Domestos just making it past Kuhn there in through the DRS zone. into turn 8. AlphaBetic not going to be happy about that. Red Bull need these points though to help move themselves up above Mercedes and keep their position in front of Haas right now. Kuhn getting up on tight on the inside, will to will here through turns 11, 12 and 13. Domestos slips back in behind Kuhn for turn 14. All this time is helping Jasper. Jasper trying to challenge up on the inside of 17 there. I'm not sure if he tapped Kuhn's will then though. Trying to take a very ballsy move there on the inside of Domestos. I don't think he means to tap Kuhn there. He did back off. Kuhn went back in front. I think he kind of let him rejoin a bit there. It looked like he lifted off a lot after he realised he had tapped Kuhn's will. Interesting overtake place on turn 17 there. I don't know if I've got a big enough pair to attempt that move there through 17. So Kuhn's gonna have Domestos and Jasper and Chronic there, all gonna be firing on each other as we come out of turn 7 through DRS. And right now, look how close they all are right now. Oh, is anyone gonna make it up? And they're catching Knack. When did, I'm assuming they've all just pitted, maybe, or when did on the penalties? Tyre stops, then not. I don't know when Gargamel got up in front of Reaper right then. But that was interesting. We were watching what's going on back here with Kuhn and Jasper and Domestos, and as we're switching over to see what's going on between Gargamel and Reaper, Jasper's gone up past Domestos. And the whole gap towards the front of the pack now is massively closed down. Kuhn and pace back. Kuhn, Jasper and Domestos now not too far off Knack and Reaper right now either. And Gargamel is just pulling away. Absolutely missed what happened there between the front. Too busy looking slightly further down in the pack. Don't know if something maybe happened. We saw Knack chasing down Reaper obviously earlier. I don't know if something maybe happened between Knack and Reaper, and that slowed him down, allowed Gargamel to get the jump and get up and on and past. But that's very interesting. People moving all over the place. We're watching Jasper right now. I'm looking at the timesheet then a little bit. Well, a little bit faced. Shouldn't drink so much. Loads of drivers picking up penalties right now, though. The pack started. FCST still in this charge up here, though. Tenter's made his way in front of him. Ace's back up in front of Lang right now. I think those 9-lap-old subs there of Lang's are probably starting to fail a little bit around here. Not the kindest of tracks to your tyres here. FCST tend to protect in the inside. FCST looking for that switch back between these corners, gets on the gas, and he does make it in front of Tenter. Beautiful line there from FCST. I have to say that was great driving. Tenter forced him to the outside. He got on the brake nice and hard to get on the inside of 8 and take that, make that outside line become the inside, and the inside again for 9. Great driving there. That's what we like to see. Tenter there following very close behind though. FCST can't shake him off. Kuhn and Domestos both coming into the pit now. They've said 10 laps is enough on those mediums. I feel they're losing pace. Kuhn checking on a pair of softs right now. Kuhn definitely going to be going for a double stop there if he's putting on. Set of softs right now. What's Domestos got on? Domestos another set of mediums. Domestos going to be putting the softs on at the end. Kuhn going for the softs in the middle of his lap right now. Little bit of traffic between them there right now. Kronik's also on fresh mediums right now. What happened to Domestos? Kronik's picked in as well. I don't know if Domestos' pit team just, the same as we had in China, just sitting there having a cup of tea or something when he came in for a stop, but that possibly seemed like a bit of a slow stop there from Domestos when him and Kuhn came in relatively the same time, I think. Unless he had we had a wing change there. It's not enough time lost to quota for a wing change. Going there up in front of centre right now through the DRS zone before we come into turn 11. Making those softs count. Hopefully half a lap through there. Those corners, it should be nicely back up to temperature right now, and then Kuhn can start to attack FCST right here. Reaper going in to the pit now. He said 11 laps on those mediums. Now we're going to see Gargi run longer. We saw Gargi do this in Spain. He ran a very long stint on his medium tyres at the start, but he didn't lose too much pace from it at all, and it kept him in very good stead for the race, and he managed to just time those pit stops and get onto the intermediates just in time. FCST Reaper must be dropping back in the pit right now. So, I mean, it's very, very long pit lane exit here around Abu Dhabi. It's gonna cost you a lot of time, and you come out into that fast bit of sector 3. It's gonna have a lot of traffic now in front of him, and as we watch Haas drive into the back of Kuhn right there a little bit. That's a Kronik to get up in between them now as well. Everyone fighting for position around here. Haas is maybe back up in the front. Who's making it in to turn 8 first? Looking like an absolute great race from Kronik right now. And not sure if I've been told that Kronik might be retiring from the AV at the end of this season. If he does, this is a great race he's putting in towards the end right now for Alfa Romeo, up into 4th position. Reaper making his way up in between centre. So much passing going on right now. I can't keep up with what's going on the time screen. I'm trying to talk at the same time. Everyone's just making moves on everyone. What a race right now. Kuhn's on the softs, David's on the softs in the middle right now. Gargman's going to have to come in soon. Knack pitted and he's gone back onto a set of mediums. He's going to be coming then back out on probably softs later on at the end of the race. Him and Kuhn running alternate strategies there within the team. FCST coming in and pitting right now as well. On to Knack, the way everyone's pitted, it's Gargi is, I think, needs to pit soon. He can't lose too much time to Kuhn right now. He's got a big old 23-second lead right now. He's possibly just forcing everyone to outpit, to try and outpit everyone, try and hope they get caught up in traffic, and that's going to slow him down. He's losing tenths right now to Kuhn, who's on that soft tyre. Knack's only a second, 1.2 seconds behind him. I think I maybe expect to see Gargi coming in right now. 2 tenths lost. It's going to be getting down to 3 tenths soon. There we go, 3 tenths. Expect to see him. Is he going to come in? He's not coming in. He's going to stay out. He thinks he can still run pace on those mediums. Kuhn on the softs though. Though he knows Kuhn's going to have to stop again before him to go to the mediums. He might be so worried about Kuhn, maybe looking more at the delta to Knack, to what Kuhn's holding. But Kuhn's going to be trying to tow Knack along as best as he can right now while Kuhn's on the softs. As long as he can keep his teammate within that second there of him and he can keep chasing down Gargaman, he could be able to allow Knack to get that undercut on Gargi, stop Gargi from setting such a good pace time, and make sure that undercut does work for his teammate of Knack. Reaper right now, held up a little bit here by Chronic. He's going to want to be looking to get past. He's going to be in DRS range here as we come out of turn 7. 4-5 tenths behind though for Reaper. He's not going to have enough to make it work. Chronic, not much ERS left there though to defend with, though. There's Kuhn letting Knack past. Knack having faster pace on the mediums than Kuhn does on his softs there apparently, and Knack now gonna chase down Gargaman. I think it's time to pit. He's coming through turn 19 right now. If he doesn't pit right now, I think he could potentially be thrown away. Good track position and podium right now. He's gonna keep it going. Gonna maybe try and make Knack burn out those mediums, chasing him down instead. I mean, we're losing time here right now. The whole time is, unless Gargaman could be going for the one stop around here, knowing he's gonna come back out a bit. Oh, he's gonna let Knack's gonna gain place on him when he pits in. He'll be behind Knack and Kuhn, knowing that the other two drivers have to pit still. And he's potentially going to go for the one stop. If he goes to the one stop though, he's going to be putting on the hard tyre. He's going to have to be putting on the hard tyre probably soon. Because, as you imagine right now, 14 lap old mediums right now to getting on a fresh hard tyre, warm it back up for a lap. Still, it's going to be then what? It's going to be 13 laps on the hard tyre if he comes in a minute as we get on with Reaper there getting his way up past Chronic. You need to keep an eye on Gargaman and what his tactic is. Unless he can just run that medium and one stop it onto a soft later on. But he's going to get 8-9 laps out of soft. Maybe if he can run 3 or so more laps on that medium tyre, he might be able to one stop it off on the medium on to the soft tyre. Reaper coming up strong here right now though, making this charge through the pack, back up into 4th right now. Kuhn's going to be looking to slow him down as much as he possibly can to help Knack and Kuhn. Knack and Reaper, I mean, at the top of the constructors right now. 15 points between Knack and Reaper. Knack in P1 and Reaper in P2 in the Drivers' Championships. Kuhn down in P3 with a 34-point difference to Reaper. So I think he's just going to be trying to help out his teammate right now. Defend off Reaper and allow Knack to try and hunt down Gargaman, which Knack is doing at an incredible pace right now. Lap 16. Knack almost taken off a couple of seconds a lap there off Gargaman's time, to be honest. Kuhn there weaving, trying to lose the slip. I think Reaper is just going to make it in. He's not. He's forced tight to the inside. He's going to go for the switchback, get the DRS again. Couldn't quite get across and get to the outside and back into the inside quick enough there on that corner. But he's got a great run on the DRS now down through turn 10 and before turn 11. Kuhn slips in behind. Reaper using all the curb there between 12 and 13. Now he's got a couple of seconds between him and Knack. Really closing down at this time on Gargaman right now. As we've said, Knack and Reaper both going to be having to pit again at the end because they've only used one tyre set so far, and I think this could be Gargaman's strategy. He's potentially just going to one stop this. He's still out. He's going to one stop it medium to soft. Going to sit behind them and be on the softs, and he knows the other guys are then going to have to pit in car softs. I think Gargaman could go on to win this actually. If Knack doesn't close down too much time in these next couple of laps, I think as long as there's potentially about 10 seconds between Gargi and Knack, I think he can one-stop this onto the softs, and I think he's going to take it. Much of the rest of the field separating out right now. Wouter trying to chase down Bestos back here. Lang getting past Wouter on these older hard tyres now. Lang's on a set of mediums there. He's going to be taking those to the end. He's already had a soft tyre on earlier. Bestos will probably be looking to go to the end on these hards though. Lolla might be pitted back in on those 11 lap mediums. So there's a position or two to be gained up at the back here. Jasper's on hards, so maybe 80s and Lang and stuff back here might be able to catch back up to them. And what has happened? We switched back down to the back of the pack for a few seconds there, and what was a 15-second lead that Gargamel had has suddenly just dropped down to a sub 4-second lead now. I think it's time to pick Gargamel because we're going to be coming all the way back down into 6th right now. I think it might have been... wasn't expecting that much time to get lost right now from them. I don't know what he did. Must have had a bit of a spin on the exit of one of the corners there. Lost a lot of time somewhere. Great interesting races at the front of the pack here, the last couple of races. What's going on down here? Bestos and Lang, I see switching positions, lots there. Lang, Red Bull fighting with both the Haas right now towards the back, trying to pick up those last couple of scraps of points. So Wouter getting inside the other Haas. There is Lang gonna make his way past this one. He's close, he's got the run on the inside line. Takes it really tight, a little bit of a tap over Will there. Lang switches back to go to the inside. And I think he's gonna be fine there. He's up through turn 10 now. He's going to make it in to 11th first. FCST out of the race down there. We see along on the exit of on turn 10 there. Not sure what happened to him there on turn 10. So I'm getting pushed a little bit wide by the Alfa Romeo on the back of Lang's cam there on the exit of 7, I think that was, but I'm unsure what happened to him there on turn 10. Everyone's made at least one stop right now, but we know these drivers are going to be making another one, I should imagine. People like Domestos here started on the medium tyre. They haven't had 2 tyre compounds yet. So, and Kuhn, we know those softs aren't going to last until the end of the race. Gargamel has just pitted now. He has come back out into 6th now. Like we said, he's going to one-stop it onto the softs. So in front of him there, Nak's gone medium to medium, so Nak's going to have to pit. Reaper's gone medium to medium, he's going to have to pit. Kuhn's on those soft tyres, which aren't going to last to the end. Domestos is medium to medium, going to have to pit. And I think Kronik's medium to medium and have to pit. So Gargamel right now, those drivers are in front, and he's got about 9 laps left to do right now on these soft tyres. It's pretty much about right. Should be capable of out here. They're going to start to fade a bit on the last couple of laps, I think, but might have done it. About 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16. It's about 17, 18 seconds off the leader there right now. So, yeah, if you can keep putting pace down. There's Kronik gone. Gargi's moving up. 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, about 17 seconds off the leader right now, and I think they're all going to have to pit again. No, once Gargamel catches up to Kuhn, Kuhn's still on this softs, he's going to try and hold him up, but we could see a great pit, amazing pit stop strategy here from Gargamel once again, as we saw in Spain last week. Bestos back in the pit now, taking those hards off. David also in the pit, putting some softs on for the end there. Lang moving up position. Lang should be good to take those mediums to the end there. Lola, I just imagine, going to have to pit those off, so that'll be another position gained maybe for Lang. Fighting with David, where are they? There they are on the exit of 7. He's going to have the DRS. David on those brand new soft tyres, though. It's going to be a push. They're not going to be a temperature. If you want past, you need to get it done now. Let's come back up. Step back on David, though. Still running close behind Xz-ReaperX, close behind Lola. Big old DRS train there. All the car flaps are closing down as they come out of the DRS zone. David making his way in front of X's. Both the Mercs there right now. Lang still to get past. X's on the soft tyre, though. These cars around him have got the tyre advantage over Lang with these soft tyres. David now fighting with his teammates. Mercedes will to will through here. You need to be working together. You need 23 points more than AlphaTauri, which I don't think is going to happen. There's Gargi there right now. 16 seconds off Knack on the soft tyre now. Managed to take his mediums essentially for twice as long as what everyone else has in the race. Knack now stuck out there in front on that medium tyre, knowing that he's going to have to pit to change tyre compound, and the longer he does that, the closer Gargamel's going to get to him. He might just be able to get out close to Reaper now. I think it's going to be in Knack's best interest to pit now. Everyone else put the plug and gone into the pit lane. He is pulling in to the pit lane right now. Takes a hit on the wall as he does so. I hope he hasn't got any wing damage from that, but it's getting very close. He should come out reasonably close behind Reaper, in between his teammate. As on goes the softs, and that's Gargamelon going past, and that's Reaper going past by a good distance. Is the pit lane. A lot of time here is so big, this loss. As you sneak under the track, he is just going to make it out in front of his teammate Kern, but he's not made as close to Reaper as I was expecting him to do. These two have got a bit of work to do right now if they want to catch up to Gargamelon. Gargamelon obviously having a tyre advantage there. No, these two having a tyre advantage over Gargamelon right now. Just a couple ups in on his softs. But it should be a good race for these top three, and right now with 6 laps left to go, I think it's very safe to say we are going to be crowning AlphaTauri with the Constructors win at the end of this race. What a great run it has been for both of those AlphaTauri cars, as well. Knack just through the first part of the season very solidly being up on the front row of the grid for qualifying majority of the time. We've done 18 races and Knack has put in 9 fastest laps through qualifying. A couple of those he didn't start actually on pole for because he had grid penalties, but still half of the races he has put the fastest qualifying lap in. Reaper's gone up. No, he was anyway. Reaper closing down the time on Gargamel right now, down to 2.5 seconds. 7 laps. 5 laps left to go, and he is closing down that time. They do have time penalties. Reaper's got a 6-second penalty. Nack's got a 12-second penalty there. Koon with no penalties, so I think Koon's safety going to be inheriting Nack's position, and I think we're going to probably see Koon, if anyone starts to catch up to him, he's going to start to probably do his tactic from before and start trying to slow the other cars down so they can't inherit anything from Nack. But I think everyone else has got such a big time. Like David there with 24 seconds. I think it's very safe to say Mercedes isn't going to be holding off AlphaTauri through this race. Lang there only with 3 seconds though. He's comfortably going to be jumping up into David's position. It's not going to take Jasper's from those 9 seconds though. Reaper's, I think it's safe to say, Reaper needs to get in front of Gargamel right now and needs to get 6 seconds in front of Gargamel right now. Over 4 laps. He's got 4 laps and he's got about basically 8 seconds. He needs to start running 2 seconds a lap quicker than Gargamel and get past Gargamel right now if Reaper wants to take this win. Nack's going to be switching places with Koon, but he's only going to go down to 4th. That 6-second penalty from Kronik there, currently 2 seconds behind Koon. He's going to be out of range to make any advantage of Nack's time penalty either there. This race in Abu Dhabi, typically in the AV League, has been won from first place. Season 1, Ethan put it on pole and he took the win, and in Season 2, Gargamel put it on pole and he took the win as well. So it has typically always been won from that pole position. There's our wing cam. We like Koon's meme. Everyone likes the wing cam because it just looks nice, and it's gone. Once gave it to me like 5 times last race, and then give it to me once. Game's stingy. I very much hope for the next game, for camera angles, we have more of a choice. We can switch through for the cinematic ones, because I can't control which cinematic camera it gives us. Like these views, where it just points me the track for like 3-4 seconds before it even shows me a car. Mestos right now running pretty close behind Kronik here. What we've got on the tyre, everyone up the front here, top 6 drivers all on their soft tyres right now. David picking up even more penalties, up to 27 seconds now. I think the game's probably going to disqualify you if you get too much more. Tenta's making his way up past Router. Why are you not giving me Tenta's car? Who's that right behind Router? Bestos now looking at it on Router. Everyone trying to get up. They want that 10th position. They want that one last point that's available for them. That last point is super important to Haas right now, who are currently trailing 1 point from Red Bull. Both Red Bull cars in the points. Neither Haas cars in the points right now. A lot of pressure on Bestos to try and even 1 or 2 points just to keep that gap just a little bit more closed off the best you can between races. So important right now, especially with 4 races to go after this one. Wouter just making that car as big as possible. No space around there for Bestos. Runs a little bit deep through 7 though. Bestos has the DRS, and there he goes past. He's going to have to chase down Tenta now, though. 1.6 seconds behind Tenta if he wants to grab that point. Lang looks pretty safe there in the other Red Bull ahead of Tenta. 7 seconds up behind Tenta, and he's going to be inheriting David's position right now as well. He's going to give Red Bull a couple more points. Domestos in 5th, that'll be 12, that'll be 13-point lead. 2 laps left to go. Reaper's managed to catch up to Gargamel. As we say, he's got that 6-second penalty there right now. Knack with a 15-second penalty. I don't know if Kuhn's going to be able to defend that from him. Domestos could be going up into 4th position there. 8, 9, 11. Domestos for that 3-second penalty though. Kuhn 7 there on Knack. We're following on with Gargamel and Reaper. Trying to do maths here real quickly. Domestos doesn't want to fall any further back than what he is on Kuhn right now, and he should just be inside Knack's time penalty. But we know what Kuhn's like. We know he's going to try and slow him down, and then for every second that Kuhn is slower than Knack, we need Domestos to increase that time on Kuhn. A great race this has been around Abu Dhabi, around the Yas Marina circuit here. So, not a very big fan of these very modern tracks with all this tarmac runoff around it, because it just, there isn't that fear of dipping a toe in the gravel, dipping a toe onto the grass and losing traction. You've got tarmac there, you can get the traction. Doesn't matter if you run a bit wide, you get a warning. Like, don't always see that such careful precisionness from the drivers, but there's been great driving around here. Lots of overtaking going on through these two long DRS sectors, being so close together like that. If you don't make it through the first one, but you can follow in tight in the chicane between, you can normally get the job done in that second DRS zone. Position's been switched around all over the place. Gargamel taking very ballsy decision on pit stops, doing a 1-stop from medium to softs around this circuit. I expect to see a 1-stop done from medium to hards over 50%, but that's got to be some great driving, great time management, and great setup to manage those mediums for as long as he did around here. 21 corners around here, and some of them aren't the friendliest, especially as we get up now. Turn 2, going into 3, 4, just flat out through here. Those outside tyres are put under a lot of pressure at that point. It's going to wear them down. Same as me, even when we look at turn 7, the hairpin now that we're coming up to as well. Coming through very slowly. As soon as you get to that point, just past the apex there, you're putting the power back down. Those outside tyres are taking a lot of pressure on them, a lot of weight from the car on them, and they're going to start to scrub and they're going to start to wear. Knack now 18 seconds, just making Kuhn's job harder for him now. Knack, he tries to hold people up for you. He can't defend that sort of penalties back from you here, Knack. There's the wing cam, though. All those penalties forgiven if you're going to give me wing cam. That was so nice to those corners. There we go. Now it doesn't matter again. You're a bad driver. You got penalties. There, as we're on lap 28 now, Reaper working so hard to bring that car in front of Gargamel, unable to beat back on those 6 seconds of penalties. Slowing down, he knows Gargam's going to take him on the penalties anyway. And he just let Knack move in front of him because he had more penalties. I'm not sure what Reaper was quite doing just then. That might have damaged Domestos moving up. So how did Knack defend that? That was so close on Domestos' behalf there. 0.014 off of inheriting Knack's position in 4th there. Reaper pulling over wouldn't have affected that, and it was still running pace. Kronik then there, down in 6th. Jasper down in 7th. Lang's gonna come across in P8. That position to be safe because the opponent's behind him. Bestos coming across in P9. Tenta is gonna be P10. Lala's coming across in P11. I think he's gonna be leapfrogged there by Xz when he comes across the line though from penalties. I think Xz will go up into 11th. Yes, Muta is gonna be 13th. LordyLord's gonna be 14th, and Rowan's gonna be 15th. So we got another win there for Gargamel. Muta did a few drifts there at the end, right before the pit line. Having a bit of fun. Let's do some donuts, and then across the pit line, across the line out. That's the other line, the timeline. Keep messing around with it. A run's going to get your position, even with all those penalties. It's towards the end of the season. The drivers are having fun. There we go. Router goes across the line in 13th still. Doesn't get his position. So there we go. There, another win. Another great tyre strategy there from Gargamel, and a pit. Well done, and congratulations to AlphaTauri. They had 456 points. I'm not sure what their points are with this current race, but Mercedes didn't outscore them by 23 points. So the Constructors' Championship, we can officially crown our constructors as AlphaTauri for Season 3. AlphaTauri took it in Season 1, at which Kuhn was the driver then as well for them. Kuhn Reuter took it in Season 1 for AlphaTauri. Season 2 was Ferrari with Gargamel and Domestos, and Season 2 again is AlphaTauri with Kuhn and Knack. So Kuhn now the only driver in the AV Championship to have 2 constructors under his belt, and I'd say that's going to make him pretty hot property for when we come in to Season 4. And the driver selections there. So there is Alan Greer, the Gargamel, Reaper and Kuhn on the podium. Reaper there with the fastest lap. Knack 4th, Domestos 5th, Kronik 6th, Jasper 7th, Lang 8th, Bestos 9th, Tenta 10th, Xz 11th, Lollop 12th, Router 13th, LordyLord 14th, Rowan 15th, David 16th, FCST 17th, Red Bull. Bestos picking up 2 points there for Haas in the end, but Red Bull there is gonna be doing, what's that, 14 points there for Red Bull. It's going to help move them up in front of Haas to close down that Mercedes gap there. Instance shouldn't have been too much. A little collision maybe at the start there with Router and FCST and Lang and Bestos, but the rest of it generally exceeding track limits there. Corner cutting, speeding in the pit lane. Apart from that, maybe tiny couple of taps at the start, because it didn't look like anyone really affected too much or got pushed off too much at the start there. Router, a little collision with Bestos. The lap 10, generally, I think that's a very good, clean race. We will be back on Thursday for, going to be a great race on Thursday, Silverstone. Probably my favourite track out of them all, not just because I'm British, because it's just an amazing track. We'll see you on Thursday at the same time for Silverstone, and congratulations to AlphaTauri for being our constructors winners. Well done.